Welcome to
Welcome.
another empowered conversation.
The audio is audioing.
It's
Yes.
audioing? What does that mean?
It means it's working. Our voice is felt. Yes.
I love the power of the voice. It's so powerful. We can just express things to people and they're like, yeah, I understand you.
Yes, context and tone and feeling and vibration and frequency. I love it. Whew.
So, Jasmine, I would love for you to introduce yourself to this beautiful audience.
Hello. My name is Jasmine Bee. I am a business and energetic mentor for leaders moving to 6 and 7 figures in their vision, in their calling, in their mission, in their brands, and scaling businesses, and doing this through energetics and God's own frequency and creative strategy.
Beautiful. When did you first decide that that was going to be your thing? Like, what drew you in there?
What drew me in? I went on a journey. When I drove across Canada, I went on a really powerful journey I had this knowing that I was going to build something online, and I didn't quite know what it was, but really it was just everything that I was already good at and that I already was. And I was already I was already a certified coach, NLP coach, mindset coach. I tried to do that on my own, as in like not hire a business coach, and like that I ended up back in corporate back in 2019, and that was like a whole journey in itself. But when I finally went all in, it was that I'm not a life coach, I'm not an energy coach, I'm not a this, I'm not a box, I'm not a niche. I'm creating a brand world, and I'm going all the way. And so it's evolved over the years. And yeah, it's evolved. It's definitely evolved over the years. And it's been a whole journey. And I essentially just started, coaching people on mindset, energetics, and life purpose. And within the first few months of my business, I made $30,000 the first 3 months. And like my third month in business turned out to be a $20,000 month. And it was because I was good at sales and I knew sales, and I just started really showing up on my brand and my marketing. And I was a baby coach back then. I was a baby. And God knows, like, what was I even selling, right? Like, I had an offer, I had this, and I just kept investing in myself. I made really, really big moves and made really big investments, and I just kept moving. I just kept trusting the vision. And then I ended up in Tulum, Mexico.
How many years have you been doing this now?
So it's been 5 years now, approximately. I would say I started in 2021, so 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 5 years. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And a question I love to ask on this podcast is, what is personal empowerment to you?
Personal empowerment is knowing that at any time you always have a choice. So it's never being boxed into one way of thinking, one way of moving, but it's understanding that any and all possibilities can exist at any given time, but they only exist at a certain frequency. And so when you are moving from a place of empowerment, you are seeing the higher vision, you're seeing the higher way, you're seeing the higher possibility. And you're allowing that to move into your body, move into your being, how you would act, how you would think, how you would move, how you would create. You're not just taking a problem as a problem, you're seeing problems as a possibility. You're empowering yourself. And this is the hard thing, right? Because a lot of people are very successful at getting their needs met. And the victim consciousness is it's so indistinguishable sometimes. It like can hide out. Like you can be like, it's the most empowered person, but your victim is still like woven into it. And that's the reason why you're capped, or you're not able to fully empower yourself to a whole new level of where you're really meant to be. And yeah, it comes from this real knowing that all realities can exist at any given time. And that it's just your job to have the non-circumstantial power. So it's non-circumstantial. It's not determined by your current situation, by your current environment. It's determined not by circumstances. it's determined by your own personal power. It is anchored from God. It is anchored from your mindset. It is anchored from your human self, the highest version of your human self, so that you can actually quantum leap into a new reality, a new timeline, or you can walk forward into the life that you're here to truly have. Yeah.
Beautiful. Do you feel like, what would be, if someone on the other end of this is feeling like they want to empower themselves, they might be building a business, they might be going through some tough experiences where they don't feel empowered, what do you feel like could empower them that you would like to share with them?
So what I love is like, the first thing is, okay, so this is a concept that I'm working on with some of my clients right now in some of my spaces. But wherever the problem is in your business, some people are like, first of all, if you don't have problems in your business, you don't have a business, straight up. Like, there is no reality that exists where your business doesn't have problems. Because if your business doesn't have problems, then it's not growing, it's not evolving. So it's learning how to see problems in a different way and learning how to see it through a different lens. Because if you are able to be like, these are my problems, these are my gaps, this is what's not working, this is what I'm trying, this is what I'm doing, and you're getting really deflated by the problems, you're feeling like it's so heavy, you're feeling like, you know, it's you against the thing, and something just feels like it's not working, and it's actually chipping away at your self-belief, it's chipping away at your self-concept, you're having doubts. Those are not negative things. Because if you don't have doubt, you don't need God. Straight up. If you have no doubt whatsoever at any given moment, if you've never experienced a doubt, then you're not even playing in the land of the unfamiliar. You're not playing in the land of faith. Because if you have no doubt, you will not need God. And if you have some doubt, if you have some fear, if you are facing that feeling of the unknown, you are able to create a pocket of empowerment, a pocket of potential, because where the problem is within yourself, where the problem is within your business, where the problem is in your life, that's where the money is. That's where the possibility is. That's where the opportunity is. And I love the truth of this because you look at it differently. You're like, okay, if this is where the problem is, that is where the highest potential exists. And so it requires it requires like a line in the sand moment. You're doing something completely different. You're shifting completely, you're literally making such a radical different choice that the universe, God, life, reality has no choice but to rearrange around you. So if you look at the problems in your business this way, if you look at the problems and the gaps that you have within yourself this way, sometimes it's hard to see our own gaps. That's why we actually work with people, right? Because we're like, I've been trying everything. It's like,
what is it?
It's you. It's your bullshit, right? Like, right? It's your own reality. It's the way that you're looking at things, right? And so, yeah, if you look at your problems in this way as pockets of opportunity, as pockets of possibility, then that's where the money is. And money is just currency. And you're always giving out a currency no matter what. Not like a physical currency. I mean, obviously we're paying for a lot of things all the time, every single day, but your energy is a currency. And so you could be saying one thing like, blah, blah, I'm this person, but the energy around it just doesn't land because it's not true. You don't believe it's true, and so no one else does. And so the frequency is off. When the frequency is off, people don't feel it. If you want to create actual, empowered momentum, you need to back the frequency behind the version of you that is already on the other side of it.
Okay. So someone's, yeah, that was beautiful.
Like,
no, thank you.
Feeling it.
Fire it. If someone is, say they're at home and they're kind of like, all right, I need to empower myself in sales. I need to empower myself to make that jump into this new version of myself. And they're watching this video and they're thinking, okay, I know who I want to be.
Yeah.
I know who I say I am. How do I then embody that frequency? For instance, sometimes it's like, okay, I need to take the actions of this person that would be the person that I'm going to become, because that puts me in the frequency. But then the universe still has ways of showing us where we're not that person.
Yeah,
or where we can't act exactly like that person would. So
People drop it often right before the breakthrough. That's usually what it is. People drop it right before the breakthrough because you actually have to see yourself as that version. So one of the biggest shifts for me was, I think back in 2023, I was like, oh, I want to be a millionaire. I want to make 7 figures. And then this really weird thing happened where I was like, oh my God, I don't even want it anymore, because now I just like, I'm literally like, it's already happening. Like it's literally already happening. I'm literally on the timeline. And the timeline can collapse and become much shorter. But you're either wanting it, which is usually repelling whatever you want, because the question is, are you in and on the timeline? Period. And so you got to get on the timeline first. And, you know, before you learn to accelerate the timeline, you just got to get on it. Like, you just got to get on it, right? And so...
Yeah, well, I mean, getting on it, from my understanding, is basically just having a vision. This is where I see myself in the future.
Yeah.
And therefore bring that into this is how I see myself now.
Yeah, because the past and the present and the future, they... like the past and the future, they don't exist. The only thing that exists is the present, the present moment. And so if the future version of you, there is a future, you know, you want to live, you don't want to die, right? And if you're going to die, you're going to learn how to die happy. I was actually reading that book a few days ago. I went to a party. Yeah,
You went to a die happy party.
I went to one of those like random speakeasy events here in Tulum, and I just ended up here, and then I ended up there, and then I took my shoes off, and then it was a cacao ceremony, and then it was a great epic DJs, and then there was like beautiful food, and like it was all magical and mystical, and then I was like, this is so beautiful, and I ended up in a room reading the only book in English, which was How to Die Happy, for like 30 minutes, and people were coming in looking at me like, why are you reading this book? And I was like, I just need a moment to reset. Like, and I was reading the only English book. It was super funny. But yeah, so you're essentially deciding to get in on the timeline, and who you want to be on that timeline is the version of you that is trusting life more than ever, that is trusting God, that is trusting divine timing, right? And really understanding there is a time for planting seeds and there's a time for harvest. You got to know when you're seed planting, and you got to know when you're in harvest season. We're always kind of, we're always able to like shift into, receiving mode at any given time, but there still is a time for planting and there's a time for harvesting. And that's just, that's even biblical at this point. Like, I think in this reality, we've kind of been like, no, we're harvesting all the time. And I feel like that belief is keeping a lot of people actually stuck, because it's this belief that you should be somewhere else, or you should be, like, how long have you been planting the seeds for? Right? Are you always planting the seeds? Because you will have a harvest season. The question is, are you ready for it? It's massive. And that level of momentum is not for the faint of heart. It's not for lukewarm hearts, that's for sure, right? The harvest season, most people stop the harvest season, momentum season, the quantum leap, whatever you want to call it, right? New age, biblical, it's all the same thing. I'm not even religious, right? It's literally the same thing. But people usually stop it right before, because it's like, it's this moment where they question everything. They doubt everything. And they're not able to keep up with the momentum, because they think that momentum looks like this perfect little curated house that we're living in, where everything's just like in its perfect spot. Momentum is not put together. It's messy, because it's something new that you haven't created before. And so if it's, these people reaching out, and like this person saying this, and opportunities coming in here, and your nervous system has to be able to handle the flow of like, oh my God, it's happening. No, wait a minute. No, wait a minute. It's happening. It's happening. It's happening. It's happening. It is happening.
So in that...
That's the energy.
Yeah. It is happening right now. Your future self is happening right now.
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing in there is, no matter how much your mind is still focusing on how the reality is the old version of yourself, how it's reflecting what you used to see, you need to keep up that frequency. You need to stay in that future self.
And the thing is like people put a lot of pressure. This is my personal thoughts on this, because like I also see things through like a very big faith lens. And that's just how I see things. It's like we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to play God, because we are we are God. God is within us, right? We're like, this is the water, right? This is water. And the whole ocean is what? Also water. Right? So we're a drop in the ocean, and we're also God, but we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to play God all the time. It's kind of exhausting, right? In personal growth, personal development. And so you also have to understand that when you cannot, God will. And you will be refilled and you will be refueled with what you ask for. Ask and it shall be given. And so that's going to create, you need a new way of looking at whatever thing that you are stuck in, wherever you feel stuck, wherever you feel misplaced, you know, whatever it is, right? You have to understand the soul curriculum behind it. You have to understand, why are you navigating this? There's a very important thing that you need to understand before you get to the next lesson. You cannot have more through lack. So whatever you're in, like, ooh, I'm lacking, so I want this, and I'm lacking, so I want that. You cannot have more through lack. So you have to understand the assignment. Right now in your life, there is a reason why you are navigating what you are navigating right now. If it is hard, if it is challenging, if it is stripping you down to your knees, if it is calling you forward, if you know the answer, if you have no idea what the answer is, you know that there is a reason that your soul curriculum needs that exact lesson in order for you to move on to the next part of the assignment. So if you don't know what this assignment is, get really still and ask yourself, what is the purpose behind what you are navigating right now? Because if it doesn't have meaning, you won't be able to get to more. Because what do you want more? You want a relationship? If the relationship that you desire, the love relationship, whatever it is, if it doesn't have a meaning behind it, it's filling a void. If the money that you want, the $30,000 a month, the $20,000 a month, it's coming from lack. You don't have it. Other people do. You're seeing everyone else have it online. So you want it because of lack. You want it because of jealousy. You want it because of they have it and you don't, or you should be there and you're not, or you're angry. And all of these things are valid, especially if you are a high functioning CEO and if you're not actually brushing up against any of this, quite frankly, you're not trying hard enough. Like if you're like, I'm kind of just like flowing whatever, that's fine. That's beautiful for you, but you're not trying hard enough. You don't want it hard enough, or you're not even in deep enough. You haven't even gone all out. If you've actually gone all out and you're really building something and creating something, or you're trying to get somewhere within yourself or within your business or within your life, if you really want it bad enough, you will bump up to these edges. You will face the moments where you feel like you want to give up. You will want to rage. You will feel the like, why her and not me, right? You will have these human moments.
So yeah,
I'm so intense.
No, it's so beautiful. It's fired up. I was having this beautiful conversation about this similar experience with one of my clients today, and about how if I'm fully content, like I've been in these spaces where I'm fully content. Yeah. I don't even want to get up off the couch. Like I'm not lacking water, I'm not lacking food, you know, like.
It's not water, it's water.
Water.
It's Australian water.
Right. Okay. My point being that to do anything in life, there needs to be an aspect of lack. I'm lacking air, so I breathe. I'm lacking $1 million, so I am creating that space where I want something. And then what I see is like, if you're constantly in the state of lack, then it's like a real neediness for it, it's gonna repel. It's gonna say, you're constantly saying, I'm still in the lack. Where if it's like, I see this thing that I lack, that I don't see in my life. And then you fill the lack with whole and complete, like you've already drawn it in. And you no longer it's almost like you don't want it anymore. You're like, no, actually I don't want that. It like comes towards you.
100%.
Yeah.
When people understand how rich they are in their life, they create more actual richness. So people will be like, I've even spoken to people who are just like, oh, I want to meet my man, I want to meet my person. And I'm like, well, why do you want that? And they're like, oh, I want to be loved and I want to be adored. I don't know what that's like to like be in love in that way.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so who's this guy in your life? It's my gay best friend. And I'm like, yeah, he loves and adores you.
Yeah.
You guys go on little trips together. You go everywhere together.
That's what it's like.
He's like he's like your gay husband.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like now you can actually see like, whoa, like this is a relationship that like I so deeply have this love, and even though he's gay and he's not like the partner like intimately, sexually, romantically, there's so much richness there, and you realize that you're not actually lacking it because this relationship in itself is so full, and it's actually showing you and giving you building the character and expanding your heart to actually be in that relationship
100%.
that you really want to have with a man that's straight, hopefully. If you're, also a straight woman, if you are a straight woman.
It's like...
To be correct in this day and age.
Yeah. in other language, I feel like, especially in my relational spaces, it's been, if I'm uncontent, and it's like which is lacking, and I need that partner, as soon as I suddenly feel content with like loving myself and I don't need it because I'm already content, it's like when it attracts and when it comes in. So what I want to bring in here is a little piece around selling and how this relates to what we're talking about, which is shifting into the new version of yourself, empowering yourself to become that new version. You're like, okay, I'm going to become a millionaire.
Yeah.
Yet you're seeing your bank account at a certain amount, or you're seeing all the things that you don't have that a millionaire would have, or you're seeing how you're not the frequency of that millionaire by the physical things in your life. How do you sell yourself on that you are already that frequency, that you're already that future self, if that makes sense?
Yeah, so it's more about knowing yourself very deeply. Like it's knowing like most of the things that I'm doing right now, I'm going to be doing at the next level in my business. So, like I have somebody that comes and cleans my house. I go out to eat pretty much every single day, every single night. I travel, like I'm doing so much of the stuff that I would already have. I have support in my business, and it's just like another level of support, right? And so it's not always about more, it's about, it's like the Michelangelo, right? It's not perfect unless there's nothing else to like take away, right? And so you're kind of in the essence of, how to turn on your genius. You know how to turn on your brilliance, because that's the only thing that people want. People want your genius, they want your brilliance. They don't want all of the other things that you're trying to do to be good at. It's good that you're trying. Sometimes wherever you are in business, if you're at a point in your business where you're like really learning some skills and you're like really putting your sleeves up and you're really learning like systems and strategies, or maybe you're just really learning a lot about yourself, that's usually not where the quantum leap happens. It usually happens when it clicks in, when things actually kind of align easier. So you're not necessarily learning things new, you're stripping things away. The quantum leap quantum means tiny. And it means like very minuscule. So if you're seeing this version of yourself that's like, yeah, I'm gonna have this family, or I'm gonna have this life, or I'm gonna have this 7-figure business, I'm gonna have this multiple 7-figure, 8-figure business. You're seeing this, right? Ask yourself the question, is it like a knowing inside of you? Or is it a really bad want, right? Because you can still create a lot of success with a want. You can create a lot of success, like just bulldoze through it, right? But I'm all about soul-led success, right? Not the success where you're like, I'm doing this for my dad to finally accept me, my mom to finally accept me. And then you get there and you still don't get that because you actually haven't healed the core wound. A lot of people create a lot of success and bring their core wounds with them, and their wounds actually, it motivates them to you can be very successful this way, right? But you don't get to feel it. And for a lot of people that are here in the soul game, in the game of like, I'm in the game of my highest evolution of my soul. I'm here because I have a purpose. I'm here because I have a calling. I'm here because I want to be the best version of myself. and give the greatest gift that I can give, which is my energy, which is the highest currency that I can give, right? If you're here in the soul-led growth, then you want to really look at why you want these things, right? And it's nice to be altruistic and say, oh, I want to like, you know, have the world and help the world. And that's important, right? To have a mission that is bigger than you. And it's a feeling and a knowing, but you also have to give yourself some grace and realize that maybe you just want a fucking G-Wagon. And, you know, maybe you just want to like get laid, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you might just need to bring your like desire, your altruistic desires to serve people and to give. You also give them to yourself too. You know what I mean? I think that a lot of people that are in that personal growth, they need everything to be greater and bigger than them and altruistic. And it's like, you can also just like, you get to have it all for yourself as well.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, we just ultimately do whatever is going to make us feel good, aligned with our values.
Yeah.
If we value saving the planet and, I don't know, you know, saving animals and things like that, that's what we're going to align with. If we align with having lots of fancy cars and a $1 million mansion, it's where we're going to want to go, because that we believe that having those things or achieving those things is going to bring happiness to others, or happiness to us, and even happiness to others through what we do as well.
Yeah.
So,
and people with a mission are so much more interesting.
Yeah, right.
They really are.
Aligned with that inner desire for something outside of self.
There's just more to talk about. Like, you've ever hung out with somebody that like is so successful, but they're just kind of like all about themselves, and there's like they're like, oh yeah, like I could just be done, I could just retire, like everything's just like, it's like whatever, right? It's like, yo, like you ain't done yet. God ain't done with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know?
100%.
And so it's, you know, even if you're in a season of waiting, it's a valid season. It's so important.
Sure. So back to that question though, is how do we sell ourselves on this future frequency, that we're in this future frequency, when what we're seeing is telling us that we're not that frequency?
Number one, you're gonna have to have grit, and you need to have stamina, and you need to develop the skills. And a lot of people have a skill gap and they have a frequency gap. And the skill gap is going to be fixed by learning what you need to learn and getting in the right rooms with the right people. And the frequency gap is going to be also about getting around the right people. Like
around that frequency.
Yeah, you have to be surrounded by people that expand you. They don't always have to inspire you. They don't always have to like motivate you, but they should feel expansive to be around, right? The worst people that you don't like, if you're talking about your dreams and your vision and you have somebody being like, you're gonna do what? Like if you're surrounded by those people, you really, really need to eject them out of your life.
So nice. So you hear that? Just eject everything out of your life. If you see anything that does not resonate with your current frequency of who you want to become, eject it out of your life.
No, I know it seems like very harsh, and I know it seems really harsh, but you're not gonna get to where you want to go with the naysayers and the doubters and the people that, if you sense that somebody very close to you is jealous of you, you need to address that with this person. And that's going to be a very confronting conversation. And also it's going to be really expansive and a really healing conversation. Or you need to like understand that person's place might not be the closest place in your life for the journey and where you're going. Because the people that are jealous of you, you're not going to grow with them. Yeah.
So do you think in that question...
It's sucky, but it's true.
Yeah. There's a level of confidence. Yeah. It's like, no matter what I see in my reality, I know that I'm this frequency. And confidence is a key to sales, right?
Yeah. Okay, sales. Yeah, we're getting back into sales.
Well, it's sales. I'm bringing sales into selling yourself on the future version of yourself, because ultimately we need to sell ourselves, and sometimes also what helps us sell ourselves is the trust.
Yeah.
Is like we need to
Sales is like sex. So you have to be good at sales. Sales is like, it's the foreplay. If you're not good at foreplay, you're not good at sex. Right? Sales is getting somebody to their own yes. Foreplay. If you're not good at it, then that's not good. Right? And it's because it is a dance of like guiding somebody to their own yes or their own no. And both are good, right? And it's understanding like there's a dynamic to this, but before you sell anything, you have to be able to sell yourself. You have to know that you're the shit. You have to know that you're hot, right? You're like hot shit. You're good at what you do, and you gotta like, nobody's gonna take you seriously if you can't sell yourself. But it's not always about talking about yourself. It's an energy.
So then, how would you say you sell yourself? Like my sort of theory, but I'd love to hear what you say, is your focus on in the past, where you said, give me this, and it was brought into your world. Or you said, I want to create this, and you created it. Focusing on the moments where you have the trust, the faith in the divine, in God, and in yourself to achieve what you want to achieve. And that helps you then when you're doing this new jump, where you're like, wait, I have trust in the divine to show up and give me what I want. And that way you can start seeing that more and have more of that trust. So you're selling yourself more. You have more faith in yourself. You doubt yourself less no matter what's around you.
Yeah.
And then also focus on where you are already, that frequency. Notice the little points where you're like, oh, I did this thing. That's what that person would do. That's part of that frequency. Oh, I'm receiving this here. I'm receiving that there. That's what that person would be doing. If that makes sense. And the more you focus on that, you start to see more of where you are already the frequency.
Most people are just stuck energetically. They're stuck creatively. And money is never stuck. Money is always moving. And it's not always about making money, because it's about being abundant, but it's about being of value. And so when you understand that you are the walking value, you are the value that money is looking for. Money is looking for you, right? Money is actually looking for you. Money doesn't have a consciousness, but money's only going to go where there's value, essentially, right? Like if you're like, my value's like this, then money's like, her value's like that, right? But if you're like, my value's this and this and this, and you got multiple streams of income, you're doing shit, you're making things happen, there's going to be more money because there's more value, right? And so money is not the end goal. Money is a tool. This is a little meta, but we're going to go here because I do a lot of money work with people, because this is one of the most ridiculously painful relationships that people have in their life. Stuck, stagnant, painful. There's also a lot of like heaviness and trauma and relational stuff with money, right? Like there's a lot to unpack there, spiritually, also energetically, how it's exchanged, how you see money, your parents, your relationship, like your relationship to money, in your current relationships. There's so many different things when it comes to money. But essentially, like, I don't believe that there is a block between you and money. Money responds to value. The question is, how valuable are you? And what is the level of responsibility that you hold around that? If you're like, I'm so valuable, I'm going to be a millionaire, I'm so valuable, but you're doing shit, literally, then you hold a very low responsibility around that. So that's your relationship to money. That's how much money you're going to make. If you're like, I don't really feel like I have a lot of value and I'm working on it. I know I do. I'm there. I'm there. You're working on it. You're there, right? But you're like, I have a very high responsibility. Congrats, you are an overworker and an under-earner. Right? So high responsibility, low value. There's a few other different factors, but usually based on the clients that I've worked with, in my 5 years of doing this work, this is usually what it comes down to, right? If the level of responsibility that you carry with what you're here to do and the value that you hold and how you can put that value out into the world in a way that's easeful, effortless, right? Or maybe you love the hustle, you love the work, whatever it is. It is about how responsible, how responsible are you for this mission, this business, this new level that you want to create? Like, do you have a high level of responsibility? If you do, then amazing. You're going to get good results. People are going to like you. People are going to trust you, which is really important. And you're going to make more money. It's really simple.
How would you say that you built up that self-trust and responsibility?
So this is a personal journey. It's also like seeing what you're made of. You're not going to see what you're made of if you're just behind your laptop, alone in your house, and you're staying the student. The best way to learn something is to not be a student, is to actually be the person that's doing it. If you act like whatever you want, go give it. Okay, so say right now you're like, I really want, what is it? Like something.
Watermelon.
Right? Go sell watermelons, right? Or whatever it is, right? If you're like, I really want to have, I really want to teach people photography, then like go be around photographers. Like whatever you want, you got to give it. You got to give what you want because you want that reciprocity. You want that like, infinite like circular energy to be coming back. So you want to be with the right people in the right environment to get those things, to have those things. And sometimes people just put so much sticky fingers. Your sticky fingers are on so many fucking things that you're not even letting the magic, the miracles to like come through. Like there's miracles in every single moment. But some people are like, oh, their sticky fingers are literally on everything. And it's like, is that really wealth? Like what happens if you don't hold on to every single thing and grip it with like a death grip? Like, is that really wealth? Is it really wealth for you to constantly be stressing and in hustle and be always worried that you're gonna lose a sale or lose a this or that? Or like, is your sticky finger death grip really the wealth and abundance that you're trying to step into? Probably not, right? And so it's like, God's gonna let you remove your sticky fingers, and like you gotta have trust in the flow and the energy and the momentum of who you are. You gotta understand the assignment. You gotta understand the purpose of it. I'm in flow state today.
Yeah, sometimes the universe will just drag that thing out of your sticky fingers too.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like sometimes, especially if you're on sacred land, like being on this land that we're on as well too. It's kind of like a whole journey, to really understand who you are beyond the titles. Like, yes, you're here to build something, you're here to create something, you're here to become the most empowered version of yourself. But if your empowered version of yourself relies on you having this amount of money in your bank account, on you having this home in this environment and this partner, then your empowerment is based on your circumstance. It's based outside of you. It's not based on who you are. If you lost everything, what's your character like? What's your skill like? What's your level of responsibility like? What's your value? Because people think their value is only in what they've created. Oh, I've been so successful. You want to know who's even more valuable? The person that failed. I want to hire that person. I want to hire the person that actually failed. I want to know because they have wisdom. They have insight. They have personal experience. They've walked through the journey of having gone full out at something and had it slip through and they rebuilt it, right? So it's understanding if you're only placing your value in what you've created, what you've achieved, what your sticky fingers have held on, then where is, you got to give yourself some credit for the moments where things didn't work out where you thought it would be. The grit, there's more for other people to learn from those experiences. There's more for you to learn from those experiences, from those moments, than anything.
The greatest in giving us the growth. They're these moments that just, when we're building something and we're like, yes, and it just crumbles down. The person that we need to become to keep on going, to push through that, to let go of what was, is the version of ourselves that we want to become. Like, as you say, if you have all this stuff and you're, okay, I'm this version because of all this stuff,
Yeah.
then it's not really true, right? Yeah. So what I'm hearing as well is, bring it back to that example of like seeing how you're not this frequency because of the things around you. It's not about the things around you. It's about the actions you're taking, because you you're in a level of, you're able to control in a way your body. You're able to control your actions, your mindset, all these things. And if they're in alignment with the frequency and the version of yourself that you want to become, that you see others in, that's when you start getting there. It doesn't matter if you're in the small house or the big house, because you're actually in the frequency of that person. And that person is able and capable of getting the big house because of the knowledge and the wisdom and their actions that they take, their mindset that they have.
Environment is everything. Environment and network is literally everything. Like rich relationships are going, like if you're like my current people, my current community circle, like they're people that are just like, oh cool, I know you, like don't let go of your core people, like, but you have to understand you've got to get yourself around different people, around new people, around expansive people, people that are naturally just expanding you. You may have to pay to get in spaces like that, especially if you are an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurship is a pay-to-play game. Stop trying to do it on your own. If you are trying to save every single dollar and keep all of your money in your pocket, get a fucking job. Like literally. It is a pay-to-play game, right? And so it's understanding that because you're moving energy, you're moving money, you're moving energy towards environments, spaces, masterminds, programs, ideas, skill sets. You're doing it, with your own level of risk aversion, but you're essentially moving energy towards who you want to be. That's what it is. And money is energy. And so it doesn't matter how much it is, but you're moving that energy towards what you want to create.
I want to play the devil's advocate for that, because I love that concept.
Do it.
Like, yes, we need to pay to get into that room. And yet I see people, and sometimes it's like this other guy, I was on Dan Martell's video conference the other day, and this guy just came there, like jumped on the call, and Dan called him up and they spoke for a little bit. Next thing, this dude's getting flown overseas, put into like a 2-year-long program, like all these different things. He didn't pay, it's all free. So like there's also a level of like, sometimes you don't need to pay to play. Like sometimes life, like the life is just like
moving you.
Get in the game.
Yeah, like sometimes your destiny is, it's right there, and it just takes one thing. It just takes one thing, but it's about putting yourself in the right environment at all times. Like for example, there was this model. Her name is I'm gonna mess up her name, which I feel really bad about, but I think it's like Atik Nuke. Do not quote me on this person's name. She is, I believe, a Sudanese model. She's so gorgeous. Literally, she was a student at Howard University, and she just went to like a festival party, and somebody was going around taking photos and asked if they could take a photo of her. They shot 2 photos of her, and within hours, it blew up on the internet. She's just a regular girl wearing jean shorts, very pretty, very gorgeous, and she was getting modeling deals within weeks. And then she was signed, I think by like Vogue or something, or just like she was like, now she's one of the highest paid models in the world, $15,000 an hour. She's absolutely gorgeous, like insane. But she was just a normal girl being like, I'm a student and I'm, taking my classes and here I am. That stuff, you can't even not like that's destiny right there. That's like,
This is the thing though, it's destiny.
Yeah.
But to jump into that space, as we've been talking about, you need to be on the frequency.
Yeah.
So do you think what frequency was she on? Like, was the frequency like, I'm so fucking hot, I'm so sexy, everyone wants to take my photo, people would pay for my photos? Do you feel like she was in that energy when that person took two photos of her, and that then helped?
I don't think so. I think that when I saw the photo a few days ago, I just saw this a few days ago, right? And I was like, oh, this is interesting. I love like stories like this. And I saw the photo and she didn't look like she didn't look like at all like me. She literally was just like, there was innocence in her eyes. She's young. She just looked like, I don't know, when you stare at a photo, you can feel her soul. And she's open. Her soul is open. She let the camera really see her. And it wasn't just the photo of her looks. It wasn't her looks. There was an energy that people were like, whoa. And obviously, like, there's a market for that, you know, like she's like completely as dark as you could come, like just absolutely like stunning, high, like just beautiful, absolutely stunning. And she was just in the right place at the right time. And destiny is just like, it's like that sometimes. And so that's the other thing, is like trusting in the miracle, trusting in the moment, trusting in where you're meant to be, where you are. And if you feel like you're really not meant to be where you are, then you better get yourself where you feel like you're meant to be, right? Even if it's the tiniest thing, right? You're like, this is what I can say yes to. Amazing. Okay, that shifts your frequency, that shifts your energy immediately, right? But like, yeah, God's going to open up doors for you that are going to be beyond your wildest dreams. Like, your plans are sometimes like this, and then the actual plans for your life are going to blow your mind. And so the reality is, are you the person that is like just going for like what you want, or are you also letting like God, universe, source, divine spirit, like do the biggest kinds of magic through you, and create the kinds of miracles that are going to be like, oh my goodness. Because you can tell when people do that, there's an energy about them. You just tell. There's just some people that don't believe in the miracles. They may say they believe in the miracles. They may say they believe in the magic, but you don't really feel like they're living in it. They're not living in it. They're 3Ding. They're human doing. They have a different energy. You're still going to learn so much from these people, right? You're going to learn a lot from these people. But then you meet somebody who's just like, they're living on miracles. You're going to learn a lot from those people. You need both.
I guess, yeah, I love that. I guess my question is, like, because we're just speaking about this whole frequency and then selling yourself on this future version of yourself and all these things. Yeah. How does that then play into these people that just skyrocket? Like, what are they doing? Like, what frequency are they dropping into that frequency like we're talking about? Like, imagining yourself as this future version, trusting that you're already that version. Like, those people aren't doing that. Or are they?
I think people work really, really hard at like manifesting. And manifestation is
not hard.
It's not hard, but it's gonna you're always manifesting. And so if you put yourself in an environment that just elevates you, whether it is Tulum or Bali or wherever, it doesn't have to be any of these places, but around the right people, right? You're naturally going to just manifest better, essentially. You're going to essentially manifest better things for you. And you're going to be creating new neural pathways that open in new opportunities, new clients, new income streams, new money, and also just new ideas, fresh ideas. So you're always manifesting, but there's a future version of you with a higher self-concept that is just manifesting a little bit better, you know? They're not like straining their muscles to do it. They're just doing it because it's an extension of who they are, and that's their relationship to life. Because if you knew you were always manifesting at all times, suddenly you'd be like, oh my God, what about those moments where I'm just like having a freaking panic or a shit show, right? Some days not every day is good, but those days don't define me personally, right? Like, especially as an entrepreneur, I set myself this year I set myself a thing where I was like, I'm not allowed to be upset for more than 30 minutes. This was a really big thing for me, okay? Because when you're scaling a business, a lot of problems, things happen. There's problems, right? And things go wrong and things shift, and then we hold energy around it. We have a story, right? It's like, this is the reason why you want to be in powerful spaces, powerful mastermind. even if you think you don't have it and it's cleared, like you have it and it's now affected your sales for 5 months and you fucked yourself in the ass, right? Essentially, but right. So this is the reason why you run it, like you want to clear this, right? So my new thing is like, okay, I'm self-aware enough to know that I'm going to let myself be like pissed or cheesed or annoyed or whatever. But then after that 30 minutes, I'm not going to hold it anymore. Right? I fully release it. And if you're really self-aware and you have a certain level of self-mastery, you know yourself well enough so that you can actually switch it and turn it off. So you've been in the emotion of it. Kids do this really well. It doesn't even take them 30 minutes. They're like fully in the emotion. If they're angry, they're upset, they're crying, they're screaming, they want this, they're like, ah, ah, they're feeling all of their emotions. And then next thing they're like, oh, playing, right? Kids are extraordinary at doing this because they're able to move through an emotional state without carrying the story. And that's like the journey of like when we're able to do that, we can actually be way more successful. Allow ourselves to feel the emotion, to be like anger and frustrated and whatever it is, but you clear the story and you clear the emotion out of your body. You get better at doing it, you're going to be more successful.
100% really just...
And you're going to be more empowered, which is the most important thing, because the most empowered version of you is going to feel the most successful.
So to someone who's sitting on the other end of this, just before we wrap up, what's one thing that you could leave them with to sell themselves on themselves?
Yeah, so this is the selling. Oh, I love this. Okay, so be sold on you, because nobody is going to be sold on you unless you are sold on you. So be around people that can reflect back your brilliance. This is really important. Sometimes we are not even able to see our own genius because we're not in the right spaces to see our own genius, right? So be around people that mirror back your magnetism, your brilliance, your ideas, your creativity, your soul, your essence. And you're going to be able to see yourself more as God sees you. You're going to be able to see yourself as the rock star that you are. You're going to be able to see yourself as the most confident, empowered version of yourself. What?
Nothing else. I was just giving them hand signals. I was like, you rock star.
And you're going to be able to see yourself in that way, right? And so you're being sold, like people, conviction sells anything, whatever you're selling in business. If you're not confident in what you're selling, right, it doesn't matter, because no matter what you create as an entrepreneur or business, it's always you. It doesn't matter even if it's a product or service or anything. No matter what you create, what you do, what your business is, it's always you. Nobody's going to invest in your business and your product, even if it's a great product and a service. And fuck, this idea is so good. Even if you're looking for investors, maybe you're not, right? But nobody's going to get on board with it unless you're on board with it. Because it doesn't matter even how good it is. A mediocre idea with a person who's insanely confident and obsessed is going to do a lot better than an extraordinary idea and a person with a, come see, come saw, like, let's see if we can actually do this.
So get fired up about your ideas.
Gotta be obsessed.
Get fired up.
Get so obsessed. Get obsessed with what you're doing. Get obsessed with what you're creating, and let the naysayer, the doubting energy, let all of those people and those older versions of you fall off the wayside. Because, I used to always say, like, I knew that I was onto something a few years ago, but I mean, if I knew, like, if I knew I was going to be this version of me, like, I need you to sell yourself like the version of you that you're going to be a few years from now. Because that's like really powerful confidence. You don't even have to talk about it sometimes. It's an energy. There's people that have it and they don't. That's just, there's people that have it and they don't, straight up. Because there's people that are like, this is all I am. And there's people like, doesn't matter who I am. Doesn't matter what's my bank account. Doesn't matter what I'm doing. It doesn't matter because I feel rich. I am rich. I'm rich in love. I'm rich in life. I'm rich in abundance. I'm rich in relationships. I'm rich in ideas. I'm rich in confidence. I'm rich in conviction. I'm going somewhere. You want to be with those people. Get in the rooms with those people.
You are whole and complete, exactly as you are. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening.
That was so fun.
Yeah.